Happening now, the search for a missing man enters its third week. Police saying the FBI are assisting. The DEC is working with city officials to control deer overpopulation.
And I'm Dakota Hunter in the First Defense Weather Center. Another gorgeous day today with a mix of clouds and sunshine. We got to bring in a rain chance tomorrow, and the temperatures really spike up for tomorrow and for the remainder of the week. We'll talk about it all coming up.
And Jamestown City School employees honored at a recent retirement ceremony. Let us hear from you in our new and noteworthy segment. That's News Now for Tuesday, May 1st, 2018.
Live and on demand from the Chautauqua Audio Works studios in downtown Jamestown. This is your source for breaking news. WNY News Now.
Thanks for joining us. Happy Tuesday to you. A live look at our 3rd Street camera right outside of our downtown studios where it's 67 degrees and beautiful sunshine out there. All of our top stories are coming up in just a moment, but first we turn to Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, who's standing by in the First Defense Weather Center. Dakota, I'm surprised you're not on the roof right now soaking up the sun.
Well, I mean, we should kind of do like a rooftop weather thing or something along those lines.
I mean, cute.
It's gorgeous out there. We should get a skyline in here. I mentioned that before. Let's take a look at the radar first of all and show you that there is nothing going on across the southern tier. Absolutely nothing. The radar is clear, and that should remain the story throughout the day today and probably throughout much of the day tomorrow. As we zoom the radar out to a regional scale, you can see nothing going on across western New York. And again, that'll remain the story throughout the day today, but I think rain will come our way for tomorrow, for the later afternoon hours for tomorrow, before that big warm-up comes our way, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But first of all, the forecast for today, a fabulous day. I mean, I don't know any other way to describe it, just other fabulous, and it will be warmer. 55 at the immediate Lake Erie shoreline because of a southwest breeze. That's going to obviously keep the immediate waterfront areas a little bit cooler, but once you go inland, we're going to spike to 74, so it's going to be gorgeous. And again, the southwest breeze will keep the immediate Lake Erie shoreline communities into the 50s, but everybody else in the 60s and 70s. But that doesn't even tell the story for the warm-up that's coming tomorrow to the end of the weekend. We'll talk about it all with that full weather segment a little bit later on in the show, so stay tuned.
Fantabulous, Dakota. Thank you.
Yes.
Local police are using additional resources to locate a 35-year-old Jamestown man who went missing nearly 3 weeks ago. Orion Hedrick has been following the case from the beginning and has the latest from Pine Street.
April 11th at 1:45 a.m. That is the last time that Jamestown police tell us that Sean Carpenter was seen. The 35-year-old Warren native reportedly walked down Pine from East 2nd Street and towards 1st. Jamestown Police Chief Harry Snelling says that's the only timeline they are adhering to.
Our time frame shows the last contact that we know of was at 1:45 a.m. and no one has seen or heard from him since. We've checked the area. I think most of you have seen we've deployed the helicopter. We've gone to great lengths to check this immediate area. We're doing some other checks I'm not going to talk about publicly.
Now, right in front of the wine cellar, an unidentified man told WNY News Now in the evening of April 11th, the day that Sean Carpenter was reported missing publicly, that he was drinking with Carpenter and Faulkner and then came here to the wine cellar. We have not been able to get confirmation on that. Now, a GoFundMe page has been established for Carpenter, and it was established 12 hours after he went missing. Jamestown police confirm the assistance of the FBI and other agencies.
We have multiple agencies that are assisting us with that investigation. There's nothing new right now, but I can tell you that it's still an everyday thing.
So the GoFundMe page is still up. They've raised more than $1,700. And 19 days later, still no Sean Carpenter. Reporting from Jamestown, I'm Ryan Hedrick, WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Thank you, Ryan. Now, police acknowledged the time difference, but also stated conflicting information published by non-law enforcement makes their investigation more difficult. We'll have much more on how social media affects cases and what you think coming up in just a bit. Reconstruction of the Jamestown Police Department is moving forward. On Monday night, Jamestown Police Chief Harry Snelling said, however, that there's plenty of work remaining before the department can be reopened to the public. That after heavy water damage consumed much of the station last fall. Snellings told reporters that he's not sure when the department would be reopened to the public.
My understanding from there, the initial plan is to work from that hallway, the Prendergast side, moving forward to my office and then out the back of the PD. I'm hesitant to opening it up to the public because the exterior walls of all the offices are going to be tore down. So until those are back up, we're probably going to hold off.
Public Works Director Jeffrey Lehman previously told the media that the department would be fully reopened in early May. And city officials are taking a stand against deer within the city limits. At Monday night's city council meeting, Police Chief Harry Snelling said that he's in contact with the state DEC about deer overpopulation. Recently, city councilman at large Andrew Liuzzo took to social media to discuss the growing problem. The councilman at large suggests the use of a select group of bow hunters who could help quell the population. Now, last night, Snellings told the council that he hopes to have a DEC representative host a presentation during one of their upcoming work sessions. Liuzzo hopes to hold a public input forum to hear from residents about proposed ideas. No word on when the DEC representative will be here in Jamestown. And a total of 18 employees at Jamestown Public Schools were honored for their service at a recent retirement reception. The school superintendent, Dr. Brett Atthorpe, thanked retirees for their service. Each principal or supervisor also spoke of the great work and many laughs the workforce has shared. The district also presented a small gift to each employee honoring them. Congratulations to all and a job well done. Coming up on the other side, we're hearing from you. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in our new and noteworthy segment. Ryan is going to be running in here in just a moment, so stay with us.
Where coverage comes first. You're watching WNY News Now.
The Fitness Bunker in Lakewood is a locally owned and operated club that cares about your health and wellness. They invest in it. Right now, $16 for 16 days will get you in the door. Lose 4 pounds, your next month is on them. Try a green zone class and maximize your performance. Hot yoga, 24/7 access. Simply walk into Fitness Bunker in Lakewood right now on Summit Avenue. Make an investment in your health and wellness. Fitness Bunker in Lakewood. Find them on Facebook.
It's tax time, so get to Express Bike and Auto in Jamestown for all of your vehicle needs. Service, inspection, vehicle sales, they do it all. For all of your automotive, motorcycle, and ATV service needs, Express Bike and Auto even offers financing. Your true one-stop vehicle shop is Express Bike and Auto in Jamestown. They're located at 1761 Foot Avenue Extension next to Quick Fill. Express Bike and Auto in Jamestown. Stop looking, start saving today.
Welcome back to News Now. It's time for a look at our new and noteworthy segment. Ryan is here, finally on the right side of the desk, if I may say.
You know, you've given me all sorts of prompts and directions and like places to be, and you know, I'm trying to stay 2 steps ahead of you, but
Right.
Justin Gould is a very hard man to stay two steps ahead of.
Oh, well, no, I mean, it's just, you know.
You are, because you're always thinking like,
Right,
you never tell anybody what you're thinking,
Right.
but you'll say, oh, you know, you're supposed to be there, and like, how did I know?
Right. In this business, I've noticed you have to really work ahead in order to stay on top of
Sure.
things, for sure. And that goes, especially when, like, you're live, you know, anything happens. It was just like last night, you know, I was watching Channel 2 with my mother, and one of their reporters, who I don't want to name, I don't want to embarrass anybody, but they had a package that they were going to run a video that was gone, and he kind of froze up a little bit.
So
and,
uncharacteristic of this guy.
right, because he's a professional.
Yeah.
Everyone at Channel
He's an
2
award-winning
Right.
reporter.
Right.
Yeah.
Does a good job, and I'm like, whoa! Like, I was shocked to see
Right.
such a. But then the weather person bailed him out. So we thank God Dakota Hunter, because he bails us out quite a bit too.
Lots of good stuff going on.
A whole ton of graphics.
Right.
Right. There's so many things to talk about this afternoon, but I think you know, we have to start with commending Jamestown Police Chief Harry Snellings for an impromptu interview
Right.
after City Council, because I know, you know, law enforcement has so many sensitive subjects that tread lightly on, and obviously we've been very public about. See, it feels something like top of my head.
You look good.
I know.
You look good.
So anyway,
Oh, his head is cut off.
Jamestown Police Chief Harry Snellings has probably more investigations than all of us combined have fingers and toes going on right now simultaneously. And I know the disappearance of Sean Carpenter has been a hot topic in the city. I'm just going to throw this out there, and I threw it out there last week, and I want to kind of reiterate my point. If somebody was missing in my family, whether it was my son, whether it was my cousin, whether it was you or Matt or Dakota or Andy or anybody, I would want to scream from the top of the hill about the last known, what they were wearing. I would make it my business every day to come on the news or find a news outlet to preach to somebody that this person was missing.
Right.
The reality of the Sean Carpenter case is this, and I'm not insinuating anything, I'm throwing out the facts as we know them. At 3:41 p.m. on April 11th, which was Thursday? Jamestown Police, or is it Wednesday? Jamestown Police Captain Robert Samuelson sends a media release out advising us that Carpenter is missing and that the case is suspicious. We walk down to the Chattacoin about an hour later, encounter a man who didn't want to be identified nor filmed, and he told us he was drinking in Faulkner and then went to Jamestown. We've reported all that. Again, he didn't want to be on film. We encountered the mother and the friends. They didn't want to be on film. I've messaged the Sean Carpenter Facebook page, the missing person Facebook page they have set up that Amy McClellan set up, and she has not got back to me. The messages have been read. I've reported on the GoFundMe page, and the only reports up that are on the GoFundMe and that are on the Facebook page are that of the Post Journals and the Observers. Right. There's nothing. We've done more reporting on Sean Carpenter than any other media outlet combined. I think we've done 6 reports on him now. And all we want to do is raise awareness, but we want answers to some of the questions. The most glaring question I have is, why do you have a 1 hour and 15-minute time gap from law enforcement that is different than what they have? Chief Snelling said they're working off a different timeline. What timeline is Amy McClellan and GoFundMe working off of?
And you'd think that the family and the police would probably be the two things that would be 100% together all the time. And talking with Snellings last night during that media impromptu that was held, they are doing everything that they can to try to find him. And he's not the only missing person that JPD has had in the last, say, decade. Right? And they talk about, with any sort of crime or anything like that, the first 48 hours are very critical. And we're on to 3 weeks now. So I wanted to play this piece of sound that we had from Jamestown Police Chief Harry Snellings talking about how the social media aspect of any investigation, the toll that it has on police, and specifically how sometimes comments can hurt their investigation. But at the same time, it's also a very powerful tool for police. Take a listen.
And like I've said before, social media is our friend, and it's also our worst enemy, because it does create some confusion. It can muddy the waters for us. But, we follow up. We have a very strict timeline that we can confirm right now, and that's what we're working with. We're working with social media, every type of media you can think of.
So all sorts of social media obviously being used. JPD's Facebook, our Facebook page, our website, Post Journal.
It's interesting. He said all types of media. Not necessarily social media.
Is that, I don't know, that's considered a form of media though, isn't it?
What, GoFundMe?
No, and social media, anything.
GoFundMe, I don't know if GoFundMe is as much social media as it is crowd surfing is what they call it. But it's very effective. Now, again, I'm just reporting facts. If you look in the Buffalo News and Google Buffalo wire fraud, you'll see a lot of cases that have come up that have people have been scammed.
Off of GoFundMe.
Off of GoFundMe. And I'm not saying that's the case at all, so don't get your feelings hurt when I'm talking about that. I'm just talking about from a transparency standpoint, there is none. Now, law enforcement can have as less transparency as they want because they're invested in the public safety. That's what they do for a living. They make arrests, do investigations, and sometimes they're very lengthy investigations.
Right.
Now, when you're asking for public money for a man that's missing for proceeds to cover the costs of his whereabouts, I want to know this. And this is I have two questions for Amy McClellan and whoever set up the GoFundMe. The first question is, the proceeds that cover the costs of looking for him, isn't that supposed to be done by law enforcement? Doesn't law enforcement take public money to indeed conduct investigations?
The FBI would generally have a reward set up.
Correct, and now we know
Crime Stoppers or some other organization.
We know that the FBI is involved now, as well as many other agencies. The second question I have, what does contacted and seen mean? What's the difference, and who was the last to contact him at 3?
Right. Lots of people chiming in on social media. First, we'll check in with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, and then we'll hear from you right after this.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
WNY News Now is sponsored by Chautauqua Audio Works, 3335 South Roberts Road in Fredonia. More than a music store. Call 679-4333. Call now, 679-4333. You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. Now, your first defense forecast with Dakota Hunter.
Hey, welcome back to News Now. Let's kick off this weather segment with the Sky Vision Camera Network. That is the camera on top of the Seneca Allegheny Casino in Salamanca, and it's already up to 73 degrees out in Salamanca. And look at the dew point number, only 33 degrees, and so that's a very low dew point. So make sure to take advantage of, well, not take advantage, but just make sure that you keep in mind a burn ban, because with the air that dry, wildfires can start with dry air masses when it's this dry as well. On to the graphics, and we'll take a look at the allergy index. And now this is the first time this year I have put this up, and I think, I think we'd be happy with this because, it was flu season and now into allergy season. But, and all of us have problems with this stuff. And you can see the tree pollen right now running in the moderate category with maple, birch, and oak, the top tree allergens, but everything else is looking good for now. And since we just finished April, let's take a little review as into the month of April. Now, I threw this out on social media last night. All these days here that are colored in blue are high temperatures that were below average. The orange are high, the orange are high temperatures above average, and gray means we were at average. You can see the majority of the month was spent below average. The median high temperature for the month was 46. We should have been around 56. And this is the 8th coldest April on record that we just went through. So, ouch. It was definitely cold. So 69, but there's none of that for today. 69 at 1 o'clock today. A mix of clouds and sunshine throughout the day as we go to 4 o'clock. 72 degrees. A gorgeous afternoon. Yes, a gorgeous afternoon out there for you. And as we go to about 9 o'clock, the skies will part, going down to 61. So it'll be just a gorgeous afternoon. Now, the Storm Prediction Center does have us under a marginal risk for severe weather on Thursday, and this is the lowest end severe weather threat. And this is mainly just for the potential for maybe a few gusty winds on Thursday. And of course, we'll keep you updated on that on the web tonight and tomorrow. Doppler vision, nothing out there today. It's clear, but our next band of rain actually is out to our west, and it looks like it's going to be coming in here tomorrow. It's associated with a cold front, 2 low pressure systems, systems. This is going to be sweeping later tomorrow. So for the zones tomorrow, let's talk about this. And you can see tomorrow temperatures are spiking. Look at this, upper 70s in most areas. And now if you're near the immediate Lake Erie shoreline, cooler, but everybody else should spike into the 70s eastward as well. Now, I'm keeping my high at 80 for tomorrow, but I think it might happen. Next 7 days are coming at you. No, you don't need to pinch yourself. Here, I'll do it for you. There you go. And there you go. There's the next 7. And you can see this summertime warmth will continue throughout the remainder of the week. Temperatures go down a little bit, but hey, spring has finally sprung, and we will take it. How about we take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
First Defense Weather is sponsored by Quick Solutions of Jamestown. Count on Quick Solutions for printing, copying, mass mailings, and so much more. Part of your team. Learn more at QuickSolutionsUSA.com. That's QuickSolutionsUSA.com. Where coverage comes first. You're watching WNY News Now.
The Main Landing Restaurant. Excellent service, awesome food, and a beautiful view.
Everything's made fresh here. We love to be outside, and it's nice inside if it's raining, so we have a choice.
Locals and non-locals agree that the Main Landing is quickly becoming a destination.
It's just so casual, and just the food is amazing.
I love the hamburgers.
But I really like the tuna I had.
The Main Landing Restaurant. Excellent service, awesome food, and a beautiful view.
WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com. You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
I just love to be with the dogs, and I like to do them one at a time. They don't wait for 5 hours in my shop. We have full groom, which includes everything from A to Z, nails, of course brushing, any trimming that needs to be done. I do offer teeth brushing, which is a little extra. So if he takes me 2 hours, it's $40. If he takes me 3 hours, I still keep it down. As long as the dog comes back happy and not at the door, I'm happy.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Can you believe that it's going to be so warm this week?
Yes.
I mean, goodness. We were talking last week. Dakota, his pay is determined on the forecast he gives us. We will take it.
He's going to break the bank this week, but
Yes.
I'm good for it. We're good for it.
Victoria Ann chiming in. She wants to know why JPD can't get it together and find these people that are someone's family. Well, they're certainly trying very hard, Victoria, and sometimes people don't want to be fined. And that's exactly what Eva Rose seems to think. What if he doesn't want to be found? That's true. That's always a possibility. Maybe he just got up and walked away. I've certainly thought about it a couple of times in my life. Not kidding here. No, I'm kidding. So Ashley chiming in, very sad how all these people keep coming up missing. I absolutely agree with you, Ashley. There is certainly quite a strange aura going around with all these missing people here in the city of Jamestown, and you know, it's almost like we feel that we may never know truly what happened.
I'm starting to think like that. We had a private conversation with Chief Snellings a few months ago, but for the sake of this conversation, I'm going to be as transparent as possible without overstepping the boundaries of privacy.
Right.
But I came away from the conversation very convinced that Police Chief Harry Snellings is as transparent as they come. There's no doubt in my mind that the Jamestown Police Department is throwing every single available resource at this, as well as other cases. I mean, we have major criminals that are just under the radar in the city that Jamestown Police watch every day. They not only watch those people every day, they have to deal with the domestic violence cases, child abuse cases, rapes, aggravated assaults,
of stuff,
traffic stops, you name it, and the administrative stuff that comes with being a cop. So when you think the Jamestown Police Department isn't throwing every resource, that's just crazy.
Right.
Because they are, but they also have any number of things to think about in terms of public safety. They have to do it. And Sean Carpenter, there is a chance that this is a broader investigation that involves much more than you think out there, much more. The FBI does not get involved for no reason, and they do not get involved on cases that are just a local case. This might transcend Jamestown. Remember, the person that set the GoFundMe page up is Amy McClellan, who lives in either Pittsburgh or Warren, so it would take you out of Jamestown automatically into Pennsylvania, Commonwealth, and there would be jurisdictional issues if they had any evidence to collect in this case.
Right. And the thing with really any case, and we've seen this, from murders to shoplifting even. I mean, if let's say you steal something from Walmart and you go to Warren, now you're in trouble with the FBI.
Right. Well, yeah,
really.
Not a shoplifting case, but I get your point.
No, but you know what I mean?
I do.
Even that, if they have to cross a border,
yes.
When you get into that state issue, that's no longer something that let's say even the sheriff's office could handle, because you're out of the county now. They have to request from other areas and get assistance, and it becomes complicated.
Right.
And the problem that we've seen as reporters here is that there's so much going on, especially for JPD. They're working so very hard to solve a number of cases, and they're underfunded. They have a drug epidemic on their hands, so every day they get calls out to different things. And a lot of the time, what I've seen is you have to triage. You got to deal with what's happening now. If there's something, some urgent, pressing thing going on, say that there's an incident on Washington Street, well, the Sean Carpenter thing, he's gonna go on the back burner for a second while they deal with an immediate public threat.
Right. And do you know the city of Jamestown allocates more money for electricity and other stuff than public safety? I think the public safety, if you go to like the New York Smart to see what all the compensation for government officials are, the city of Jamestown only spends about $300 per person on public safety. So take that into consideration when you're judging the police department that, again, as Justin alluded to, is severely underfunded. And, these politicians always cut the meat off the bone, and they expect these guys to do more with less. You expect them to do more with less with major drug traffickers in and out of the city, people dumping kilos. Yes, I'm talking about kilos of cocaine on street corners for small-time hustlers to cut up and pass out grams around the city. What do you think that does? A kilo is 2.2 pounds of drugs. How many ounces are in a pound? 28. You do the math. Multiply that by 100 or 200 kilograms of whatever is in the city, then you have a bunch of problems, as Justin again alluded to, that don't even have anything to do with drugs.
Right.
Behavior, child abuse, domestic violence, you name it, it runs the gamut.
And that's not, in my opinion, that should not be the police's job to deal with.
It's not,
you
but we always make it.
Of your kids.
Yeah,
You always push it off to the cops, as we know from Chief Harry Snelling's son, who is now a state trooper.
Right.
By my opinion, he's a great father, but it's not his job to father your kid.
It's not. But again, society makes it their job, and they always, you can't put handcuffs on it, but everybody wants to put handcuffs on everything, including mental illness, because we don't understand it. And anything we're not comfortable with in this society, we automatically want to lock it up and turn our back on it. That's why PTSD is severely undertreated and veterans are severely overlooked, because we don't understand, we don't even take the time to.
Let's turn to Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, who is hopefully not severely undertreated.
I plead the fifth. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast one final time, brought to you by Quick Solutions. And yes, 80 is in the forecast for tomorrow, and I think the best chance of that's going to be way inland, away from the lake. There's going to be a lake breeze, so the immediate Lake Erie shoreline is going to be held down a little bit. Now, the rain will probably be in the afternoon hours, late afternoon. Of course, with the sunshine, that'll help warm our temperatures up. And now Thursday, there is a marginal risk defined by the Storm Prediction Center for a chance for a few strong thunderstorms. Of course, we'll have to keep our eyes on that for Thursday, and hey, it's spring. How about that?
Thank you, Dakota. That's interesting. I wanted to talk about the fire risk. Mm-hmm. Really?
Yes.
I never thought about that.
Yeah,
it's so wet, with the Great Lakes and all the rain we get.
Well, what's happened now is because of the low dew point values, the air is so dry that, if you have a tendency of throwing a cigarette out the car window, don't. Because also that means the ground is a little bit dry, and that's all it takes to start a wildfire. So I think there actually is a statewide burn ban that is currently in effect.
Right,
so
until
just be aware of that.
All right, cool. Hey, thanks for letting us know about that.
Did you hear that, news department?
Yeah.
That's it for us today. Of course, we're back tomorrow. Have a great day. Enjoy the sun.
See you tomorrow.
Get outside.
Yes.
I'm going on the roof.
Me too.